Welcome back to our live booth coverage here at TOC 2012. My guest now is Larry Goldberg, director of the Carl and Ruth Shapiro Family National Center for Accessible Media at WGBH. Did I get all that right?
Yes, you did.
Thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely.
Is accessibility an afterthought for many tech companies? And the specific example I have here is something like Netflix seemed to be particularly slow with its closed captioning after it brought out its streaming product.
Well, it's been an issue for many years. With any new and emerging technology, we do find ourselves playing catch up. And we're trying to do everything we can so that that isn't the issue anymore. That's actually one reason why we're here at the Tools of Change conference, because we're trying to get developers and publishers to think about accessibility right from the design phase, so we don't have to worry anymore about getting into version 2, version 3. I think Netflix is doing what they can to catch up.
Yeah.
And of course it does help a little bit that we now have a federal law that requires anything that's available on television with captions is also available on the web with captions.
Right. So specific to publishing, how accessible is EPUB 3?
EPUB 3 has been a big success so far. O'Reilly has published Monday of this week EPUB 3 accessibility guidelines, available for free. And there's a lot that publishers can do to build accessibility in. Of course, they have to use the tools and they have to use the full standard. But with that, the DAISY Consortium, International Digital Publishers Forum, has done a great job on making EPUB 3 do the right things.
Now, the multimedia components that we're seeing in ebooks, apps, that type of thing, how can that be made more accessible?
Well, the multimedia within ebooks, videos, to add captions, add descriptions is actually doable today. Very pleased to see, I was very pleased to see that the new iBooks 2 app actually supports closed captioning. And Apple put out the E.O. Wilson book for free, and all the videos in that book are actually closed captioned.
Right.
Very happy to see that. Love to see it on all the platforms. I don't think all the platforms yet support it, all the hardware. But in fact, you can build in closed captions, you can build in extra descriptions for blind people, and build in accessible navigation.
What's the overall state of accessibility for mobile devices and e-readers? Is it good? Does it need a lot of work?
Mobile devices, of course, we're dealing with two major platforms, obviously, iOS and Android. Because of Apple's vertical integration, if they decide that they want to make something accessible, it travels through their entire platform. Mm-hmm. So now that they build VoiceOver into the Mac as well as iOS, you can actually navigate with built-in free software. VoiceOver is called. And you can do that on the iPad, you can do it on the iPhone, and you can do it on your desktop. In Android, it's a different situation because of how it's an open source and developers community there. So it doesn't come out of the box, Android devices with accessibility built in, but you can acquire the necessary tools to assemble your own accessible platform.
So last question for you. What are the basic things the publishers can and should be doing to address accessibility? Is it things like just paying attention to the metadata that they're generating, that type of stuff?
Yeah, as boring as some people think metadata is, it is key.
Sure.
And building in the structure, which means even like on a PDF, you can make a PDF accessible, you have to structure it right. And you must tag your images. And those are the key points, is paying attention to your navigation structure and making sure your images have additional text so that a blind person can experience the images as well.
Well, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure.